Hi, Gil. Welcome to the NTM Growth Marketing Podcast. I'm excited to be speaking with you today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, before our dialogue, I was doing some research about Arti and was so impressed with the technology that you're developing over in Tel Aviv. And I'd love to hear directly from you. Uh, Tell us a little bit about Arti. What is your role at the company? What does a day in the life of Gil look like?
Great. So before we jump in, talking about Arti, um, we'll just give you a little background about myself. So, before I joined Arti, leading the marketing at Arti, so I got to experience marketing from different angles and perspectives. From being a marketing entrepreneur, establishing my own startup, and a marketing agency, to working in a big enterprise like Wix. So leading the marketing at Arti gives me the opportunity to be very close to the product. It's a smaller startup. I get to influence on the product development, and for me, it's a great opportunity because I really love the connection between marketing and product, and hear the audience and their needs, and to influence on the product itself. So Arti, as you said, we have kind of a innovative technology. We use augmented reality technology. It's basically a platform that allows any user to create 3D video presentations for online meetings and virtual events. So let's say you're hosting a webinar or just an online meeting, company updates. So instead of sharing another regular flat PowerPoint presentation and disappear behind the screen, you would share a 3D presentation with elements that blend in your natural surrounding. Like I said, using augmented reality. And like you see in the weather forecasts, and professional broadcasters, so we would bring this ability to any user.
And what's your role at the company?
So I lead the marketing. We're a small team. I'm very hands-on, basically everything, the marketing and the product marketing. It's a small startup, as I said, working closely with the CEO and the product team, and we can dive in and talk about the strategy more.
Yeah, well, before we do that, I'd love to hear what is your favorite role about Arti that you get to play? What do you wake up excited to do? We're recording this on a Monday, so Monday morning, what really got you up and excited about your role at Arti?
So first, I love being the part of the strategy and also hands-on campaigns and creating content and being always get to be creative and actually create the content. So I edit and record the videos. I work with the product team on product tutorials. And as I said before, I influence on the features and what we develop. So it's kind of been 360 all over. For me, I prefer wide responsibility than being focused in just one thing in my role.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on some overall marketing strategy and philosophies that guide Artie. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. Um, so I had an interesting journey in Artie. When I joined Artie, they pivoted from being a service provider in the broadcast and media industry to basically developing a SaaS platform for businesses and enterprises. So in the beginning, we were very sales oriented, selling to big enterprises. And I had to build the whole lead generation funnel and sales strategy. And we had some great inbounds, large enterprises, but we understood that selling to enterprise like Dropbox and Oracle is highly profitable, but it takes a long time. Like the sales cycle is very, very long. And for a small startup like us, we need to move fast and grow. So shortly, we understood that we need to open up for smaller companies and to serve single users.
Mhm.
So, and then it got interesting because basically we built a self-served funnel when the user can just hop in a free trial and try the product and finally convert them to active users. So today we're kind of 80% self-serve and another 20% sales effort when we indicate like bigger whales that need a special offer and they have special needs. So today my responsibility is more interesting because I need to always drive traffic to the website.
Mhm.
So I do few strategies, paid marketing, Google search, Google display, and also organic traffic by doing a lot of SEO activity.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I get to implement different strategies and see the benefits, and it's nice.
So you're implementing all these different strategies to drive highly targeted website traffic to Artie. How do you measure success in all these initiatives and determine where your marketing dollars actually should go?
Yeah. So beyond measuring the website traffic, the traffic that comes from organic and paid, we track the main KPIs that we track is the actual trial signups.
Mhm.
Then the active users, meaning a user that did at least 3 actions in the trial period. And finally, the percent of users that we convert to active subscribers.
Can you
If
talk?
we're, yeah,
Oh, continue on.
comparing, like we're trying to compare the ROI or the benefits from SEO and organic traffic to paid, it's kind of hard to compare because SEO takes a long time to be beneficial, but if we see the organic traffic grows, so for me, we did a good job.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on transformations in digital marketing. What are some innovations that you're really high on, and whether that's AI, you're already at the cutting edge of AR, but maybe a new
Right.
SaaS product you're really high on. Feel free to give a shout out to Artie there. New social media platforms. What's an innovation you're really excited about in 2024?
Um, I'm not sure if we're gonna see it in 2024, but I'm positive that the most innovative content that we're going to see in marketing is generated videos. And I'm not talking about only about generated scripts, AI generated scripts and text. I'm talking about like actual generated characters and avatars um, that will basically allow almost any company to produce high quality videos, marketing videos like we see large enterprise produce today in huge budgets. So I know some good startups are working on different solutions in this field. Some are based here in the Israeli market. And I think that's gonna be like the big change in content marketing.
Why do you think that's a 2025 innovation and not 2024? Is it just the technology still being developed and it needs some more time?
Yeah, correct. I know these startups are working on these solutions for a while and they have it,
Mhm.
but in order to make it look and feel good enough, I think it will take a bit more time.
I want to go back to something you mentioned at the start, which was around you. It sounded like Arti changed its business model. You were going after
Right.
these large enterprise clients to more of B2B SaaS organizations with the 14-day free trial. And what I hear within that is the importance of having flexibility and adaptability as a marketer at a startup organization. Can you share a little bit more around why that's important?
I think that if we would keep investing in selling only to enterprise, we would lose a lot of time and efforts. We still do that, but only for big whales that we recognize coming in inbound. Mainly for startups, it's really important to be flexible and also be hybrid. I mean, some companies define themselves as PLG, product-led growth, or SLG, sales-led. And I don't think it needs to be just one strategy. You have to be flexible, like you said, and combine different strategies, not only inbound marketing or outbound, basically work in different strategies, be hybrid, and invest in the ones that work better. Learn quick and implement what's working better.
I think at the start of the conversation, you had shared you run a marketing agency or ran your own marketing agency, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and you've also been inside as an employee at organizations. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, as we have some freelancers, marketing agency owners who listen to this, what are some things you wish freelancers, marketing agencies knew of what, the internal marketing team at a business is thinking about them and how they can have a better cohesive relationship together?
So you're talking about the relationship between the agency to the client.
Yes, and what do you wish agencies knew more of from the client side of how to have a good relationship together?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think the main thing is to respect each other's time,
Mhm,
to understand that you give service, but in marketing it's endless. Like
mhm,
you always need to create more content and do more and more to be relevant. Um, so respecting each other time. Also, the agency to the client and otherwise. I mean, being productive and basically it's good communication.
Mhm.
To if you want changes and fixes, so be more focused, because any project for an agency, any client and every project could be like a whole world,
Mhm.
and we want to invest in our clients. So
I
I
want
think
to
that,
follow up with kind of a what
yeah.
I'm dissecting in my own brain when you say that. So I'll give this analogy where in America it's tax season. So you hire someone to do your taxes. They come in for a few months, you know, over and done with. I'll see you in another 10 months when it's the next tax season. What I kind of heard within that is that because marketing never ends, this
Right.
relationship with you have has to be keep on evolving on almost like an upward trajectory. You're not just being brought in for, a few weeks to do something that's very just, copy paste. You do this every year for me. There's a lot of
Mhm.
communication, innovation that's needed, and it's not just one and done. You're always ongoing and trying to improve together.
Exactly. Exactly. And better you communicate your needs and your concerns are more productive to both of the sides, I guess.
So Gil, my last question today is being an outsider, I'm always so fascinated about the Israeli tech ecosystem and the startup culture there. For an outsider, can you share a little bit more around what it's like being there directly and uh, you know, what is all the hype around the startup ecosystem there? And is it as great as everyone thinks it is?
It is great. It is a great community. Personally, I live in the center of Tel Aviv and I work like 2 minutes walk. Um, so it's like a small community that of people that we want to nurture knowledge um, and very very um, good communication, good content. In good days, we have more meetups and yeah, it is great. We have amazing brains in the business and in the technology space, and I'm really, really happy to be part of it.
So do you think it's a proximity thing where everyone's so tight together here, where you just bump into cool, interesting people all the time and it just stimulates your thinking of what's possible?
Um, we are working at WeWork, so we get to meet like before we had our own office of
Cool.
Arti. And then we moved to WeWork. I think it's a great change because you meet different startups with different technologies, and we test each other's product and features. So it gives a lot of inspiration and motivation in your days, not like just what you do. You hear lots of innovative um, things going on around you. So yeah.
Perfect, Gil. And lastly, can you share any links, social media handles, best ways to follow up with you?
Sure. So first, just go into our website. It's arti.ar. You can opt in to a free trial and immediately start creating with Arti. You can learn a lot about Arti in our YouTube channel and LinkedIn. We go to conferences. So we always update when we present Arti in conferences. Like we joined the last CES in Vegas and Infocom last summer, so you can also meet us in person there.
You were just at that in Vegas a few weeks ago, or maybe that was just last week.
And no, in CES in Vegas, it was
Was that in April?
it was and it was a few months ago.
Okay, never mind. I spoke to someone
And
else.
I think it was in January, if I'm not.
That sounds more familiar. I was just speaking to someone who was coming over to Vegas for a conference from Tel Aviv, and I thought it was the CES conference, but I think that was a few months ago.
Yeah, it was a few months ago. We also joined last year's CES. They have like a special Israeli tech area there. And so I hope we'll be there next year as well.
Perfect, Gil. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. It was great talking to you, and I hope to talk more.